everyone, welcome back to our weekly team training live stream. You guys know how this works down below in the chat box. Let's get started with your wins for the week. I think we're gonna have a lot to celebrate today. I know our team has a couple of things that we'll be celebrating, and I hope the guys will be on so that we can celebrate together some achievements that happen this week after we close campaign 3. So let's get everyone on the call. Let's get our invitations and our get our friends on the line. So this week, almost at the end of the month, we've got, I think, one more full week. So I don't know about you guys, how you felt about January. I feel like it went by too quickly, but wasn't as, not that it wasn't productive, but I just like things just kept happening. For me, this week my car won't start. My battery's like shriveled up and died on me. So again, last weekend it was the weather. This weekend it was the car. So things are kind of turmoil here for me. Sorry, like when you don't drive, and you could just jump on the bus and do things. You realize how nerve-wracking it is when the car breaks down and then you can't do things that you had planned. But it's all good because thanks to technology, I was still able to get a couple of things done after just calming myself down and dealing with the frustration and calling to follow up with all the people I had events with and deliveries with to cancel and reschedule. I did just settle down and say, okay, well, plans for the day aren't going to work, but I can do other things. And that's one of the things I love this business. When you're waiting for the bus, train, and in those little moments, you have 15 minutes here, 15 minutes there, in the waiting room. There's so much can get done. Whether it's calling and following up, reaching out to team members, reaching out to customers, putting on Pinterest, Instagram, Facebook, working on your blog. I love in those small moments you can get those little things done. So even if I wasn't able to go, I was still working and I'll be about it. So let's see what we have here. I need a minute to put my phone in do not disturb mode because it'll be ringing and vibrating all throughout this call. Let me know below, guys, how the call quality is. I'm connected to my Wi-Fi. I might need to disconnect my phone if quality is choppy again. I hope it won't be, but let's just see. All right, so who do we have on the call tonight? We have Kathleen. Hey, girl. Hey, Kathleen. How are you? Jessica. Hey, Jessica M. Hey, Hope. Tiffany I is on. Hi, Chris. Welcome back. Let's see. Dawn. Welcome, Dawn. Hey, Jessica Z. Hey, guys. Welcome. Really cool. So let's see what you're celebrating. What wins that you're celebrating this week? What have you accomplished? What are you celebrating? What good and wonderful things have been happening in your business? I think Hope is already on the call. Yes, I did. All right. Yeah, I'm curious. I always want to know what you guys are celebrating, and that's kind of the fun part of this call, where we all get to put our input in and celebrate with each other and just share the things that we've accomplished, because a lot of times we don't take that time to celebrate that. We don't take, it's just from one thing to another. We don't take a moment to recognize how far we've come, what we've achieved. Hey, Anitra. I feel like as women as a whole, we need to just do that more often. As a matter of fact, let's take some time, because like I said, campaign 3 has just had, and we just had ended our Sparkle Like a Boss incentive. So how many people here have earned their either the Avon necklace or the both Avon and the Beauty Boss necklace? I was trying to for both. I really wanted the Beauty Boss necklace. I said to my manager, I was like, okay, I need the necklace. I have to have it. And I've been tracking with my team. I've been posting the top sellers, for basically the sales goals were different for resident club and for regular representatives, but it was basically your sales for the year. So you can always just track how you're doing according to the President's Recognition Program. So it was nice because, I mean, it was not an easy incentive. It was tough. And as I mentioned last week, I actually had to reach out to my customers to say, hey guys, I'm trying to go for an incentive. Can you help me out here? And they all came through. I had quite a few ladies, but women responded. They were awesome and they helped me out. So shout out to those guys. You know who you are. I'm not going to put you on blast because the husband's going to be like, you spent how much on Avon? But, they came through for me. But, what challenge, but what I liked about it was that it was in line with tracking for President's Club. So if you haven't been a President's Club member before and this would be your first time, then you were able to just up your sales to see what it was like to get it to the level of what a President's Recognition Program member would be selling at. So for you, it meant more sales, higher earnings, more money in your pocket. And I thought it was because just like a random number. It was like, okay, if you're not President's Club, set your eye on President's Club and try to hit those sales goals that you would be reaching as a President's Club member. And then for those of us who are President's Club or above, we kind of had higher goals. And I felt like this goal was like if you broke down the overall sales goals and divided it by campaign, it seemed like the goal was going for maybe Honor Society, at least Honor Society. So it was like, I'm pretty sure the people who already sell like $100,000 a year had no problem with it. But for those of us who had to stretch a little, it was like, you know, how much do you sell to get to Honor Society per year? This is the amount you should be setting. So it was a nice kind of stretch for us to, you know, work on increasing our sales. And sales are at the heart of this business. You know, if you're not selling, then you need to work on that so that you can increase your sales and make more money. And I'm so glad that we have social media. There's so many representatives here who are making videos and sharing ideas. There are so many other, you know, different companies that have different plans. I mean, it's so nice to be able to go online and search for things and find information and implement it in your business so that you can grow. And I love that it's easier nowadays because of social media. We're a lot more connected than we used to be. So, let's see how you guys did. What are our wins? Oh, Jessica says she thinks she got both. You go, girl. Chris says she got 2 customers over the weekend. Still small orders, but she's getting there. Chris, every order counts. Every dollar gets you a little closer to your goal. So great job. Take the time and celebrate that. 2 new customers over the weekend is great. If you add 2 new customers to your customer base every day, that's 14 new customers a week. If you add 2 new customers even every week, at the end of the year, that's 52 times 2. Where's Lisa to do my math? Over 100, 104? 4 new customers in the year. So that's great that you're building your customer base, Chris. Awesome job. Keep growing and going. That's it. I'm disappointed. I know you guys are celebrating more. Pop on over to your.com and quickly check your sales and see if you're tracking for the Beauty Boss necklace. I think I earned both of them. I really tried to get some extra sales in that last campaign. I believe I made it. I should be like right at it. Usually when I set goals, I like to reach further than what my goal is to, you know, make sure that I definitely got it. I think this time I just met it. So I'm looking forward. Hopefully, I think they said that the necklaces arrive in campaign 5. So looking forward to receiving those and watching you all post yours. You better post some pictures of your necklaces, you wearing them, just showing them off. I did some jewelry shopping. These are the new Avon rings. I don't know if you can, yeah, there you go. This is the cheetah ring. It has the ring and the necklace. I love these things. I'm a big jewelry person, right? Always have been. I always tell you guys that the as a 17-year-old, selling a new wasn't, you know, the thing for me because I didn't have any wrinkles. But the jewelry pieces are beautiful. Let me not put you all up in my ear. But I feel like these pieces are so very unique. For a while we had all like pearls, 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 pearls. And it was like different. Let's see if I can get you. There you go. They had different versions of pearls. That's what I felt like. And now these pieces are really unique. They're bold, they're trendy, they're different. This is an anchor from that nautical, I think it's a 4-piece earring set. I had been eyeing that thing forever, and then it went on sale, and I was just like, well, now you can't just not get it. So I ended up buying it. And I'm excited because I liked it. So I've been wearing all my brand new jewelry. The first day I got it, I put everything on. My mom was like, who do you think you are, Mr. T? But I was like, I have to try it all on. And she was like, all on at once? And I was like, yes. So let me hear, anybody else out there get their new jewelry and try it on all at once, or is it just me? It's just me. All right, so let's see. I see some more celebration coming in. Anisha says she received a new recruit, and she's making her rounds to following up with customers on job. And congratulations. Hope says she also found new customers. Great, Hope. Good job. Anitra said she's crossing her fingers for 3 more recruits before the week is over. Great. I love that Anitra said that because you can hear that she has her goals. So for this week, her goal for 3 recruits, and she's going to be working towards that. She'll be making the call, she'll be going out, and she's going to do what she can to get that number. So that's great. You guys have your goals. Really break it down per week and set those goals, because they will push you to just go a little bit above and beyond. And when your car breaks down, or when the weather is bad, or when you're not feeling 100%, having that goal ahead of you is going to drive you and motivate you. So awesome job, Anita. Looking forward to great getting your recruits next week. Hey, Milagros, welcome. Hey, Janet, welcome to the live stream. That's what I was saying. Gross. And all right. So, like I said, just keep going in the chat box. I want to hear what you're celebrating and what your wins are for the week. Still, don't be shy. Every single teeny tiny little accomplishment is something to be celebrated. This is not the topic of our call through the night. Our topic tonight is going to be challenges. But I did find a quote earlier today that I shared with a couple of friends, and it said, every time you purchase anything, on the bottom of the receipt, you should write thank you, because you're not only thanking the person, the service, the company, or whoever you're getting the receipt from, but you're just being thankful for having the finances to pay for that receipt. And that kind of hit home with me, because I was like, yeah, sometimes it's the little things that we take for granted. Like, even though my battery is broken down, this is actually a month that I have to do my emissions test. And now this battery situation is going to cause me to have an extra purchase. But to be honest with you, I was frustrated and I was upset because I didn't get to do what I wanted to do. And my mom offered to kind of help me out. And I was just like, you know what? I'm going to stay in today. I'm going to do other things. Because I was really just thankful that I had the money, have an emergency fund, so that would be a finance that's gonna put me out. I'm prepared for it. I'm not gonna expect that that's gonna be anyway. I have money on the side, just and I have to find a battery and get my emissions test done in the same month. I am also grateful because I do have those funds on the side, and it's to my Avon business. Whenever every week when I earn. Aside a little bit so that I have for emergencies. So take that time, like really make that effort to celebrate the small things. The fact that you guys got out and found 2 new customers, you might feel like, hey, it's not a lot, but there are people who didn't find any customers this weekend. They're like, wow, 2 new customers, that's great. And that's how you should feel. Be thankful for the 2 new customers. Be thankful for that you were able to get out. Be thankful for the recruits. Be thankful that you have your own business and you have that flexibility and you're building towards that future. Maybe right now things aren't the way that you want them to be. Maybe right now you're struggling. Maybe right now your emergency fund isn't quite where you'd want it to be. I'm still in that situation as well. But it will be one day because of the steps that you're taking today. Be thankful for that, if nothing else. And I'm preaching to the choir here because I know it can be hard, and I'm the person who gets anxious about stuff that I want to accomplish and achieve. You really got to take it in stride. Oh, okay, we see some more wins coming in. Jessica says she went to a few new places and got 2 new businesses today. Great job, Jessica. Jessica is always like pounding the pavement. I love watching her Facebook page, and she shares her photos of going out to businesses. I'll never forget a few weeks ago when you said you spoke to 100 people. I was like, oh my gosh, I need to set my game up. So great job, Jessica M. Hope says she's excited about the Nutra Effects. I am warning you guys, I can't say that product. Nutra Effects. She said she thinks it has she has several customers that will benefit from them. Also, please share with us, what did you do? Did you customer samples? Have you just been talking about it, or have you mentioned brochure, and have they been looking at it and getting excited? I'm actually curious about that. Oh, Jessica M's another thing to celebrate. She's on the leaderboard for number 60 in increase. Wow, awesome. Congratulations, Jessica. That is so good. See, hard work pays off. She put in the legwork. I'm pretty sure there were days where she was tired and didn't want to do it, but she did. And now she's on the leaderboard. Girl, I'm so proud. Congratulations. Anitra said she's also looking forward to the scratch-offs. I am too. I was reading the details. So for those of you who don't know, Avon has 3 main incentives going on right now. The biggest and the most exciting one for me is the trip to Atlantis, Paradise Island in the Bahamas. All expenses paid, 4 days and 3 nights, food, travel, and hotel by Avon. I just have to put that whole thing in there because it sounds better. The second thing is that they're increasing the commission. So as a new rep, you get bonuses. You'll get to earn 3% commission off your team sales. So there are different recruiting bonuses that are going to help the representatives earn more and put more money in their pocket. And the third thing is, wait, no, I'm missing something. Nope, that's it. And the third thing is that for every person that you refer into the company, for every friend you refer who successfully joins, by successfully we mean places and pays for an order of $150, Dollar Chapstick doesn't count because that's not where we want to be with getting a new representative started. But, you know, if a representative joins them and does successfully place for a $150 order, then you'll also not only get your leadership points towards the trip to the Bahamas, but you'll also receive a scratch-off ticket for every person that you personally refer. So Anitra says she's excited about it, and girl, I am too, because I love, again, this is another incentive where it's just piggybacking and building like a ladder, rungs on a ladder to get you closer to the goals that we should already have anyway. Or it should already be our goal to grow our business and invite others and empower other women. But now it's like when you do that, you get a ticket you get points to go to the Bahamas. When you do that, you get a ticket to earn free gifts. And they were saying televisions, electronics. I am all about the electronics. I don't know what they have. I don't care on it. Cash prizes, trips to Disney. By the way, President's Recognition Program event celebration next year is going to be in Disney. Can't remember if it's Disneyland or Disney World. I always get those confused. Somebody Google that for me and let me know. But it's so good to know. For me, one of the things I loved about Avon from the beginning was just being rewarded for your efforts. Yes, it's your job to do these things, but Avon always makes that extra effort to go a little bit above and beyond to just make you feel extra special. And I mean, at the time that I was thinking about it, they didn't even have prizes like they have now. At the time, I was just thinking, like, when you accomplish something or when you go to the rep fests, how the managers line up and clap for you and how they cheer for you, how they invite you to the front of the room to, you know, give you a free gift. I don't care if it's a hand cream. Those few moments to say, you know, I see you and I appreciate what you're doing. It just felt good because I wasn't getting that in my day job and I wasn't getting that in my profession. I always joke and say in my profession, when you do a good job, they just slap down another pile of paperwork and say, great, you finished early. We've got these other 10 projects to do. So, yes, Anitra, so excited about the scratch-offs. Welcome, Sandra. Renee says she made it to the top of the team for sales increase and sales. Awesome, Renee. Congratulations. It's another woman who's working hard. I see her on Facebook. Jessica says she loves our company. Renee says it was the top 10. Ooh, even better. In the top 10. Hope says she got the sample packets, which is, by the way, They don't have all of them right now because they're back ordered. Oh yes, some of the Nurturer effects, Nurturer effects. Some of them are on back order, but she got the important ones and put them in bags for certain customers when she gave them. Click here to see more. When she gave, why can't I see it? Ah, gotcha. Okay. So she put them in the bags for certain customers when she gave them their orders. She's excited to hear back from them. They all have sensitive skin and don't really use a new or other skincare. Okay, Hope, thank you for sharing that. That's really great news. So for those of you who have customers who have sensitive skin and aren't really into the new or the Clear Skin, the Clear Skin Pro, share the samples of the Nurturer effects. Samples sell. Sample, sell. Buy the sample, sell more. So great idea, Hope. Thank you so much for sharing that. And I love that testimony because she bought it as a bundle. So she saved when she bought the bundle. And I mean, the samples, they do cost something. I understand that. But that's where your petty cash envelope and reinvesting in your business comes in. But that small investment will help her find possibly lifetime customers and will help her customers treat skincare problems that they might have regardless of whether or not they have sensitive skin. So it's great that people who have sensitive skin will still be able to use this product for themselves. I got to get my hands on some of those samples too. Okay, so oh, Kathleen said she won one of the scratch-offs. Awesome, girl. Great job. So I also want to see some posts on your page for your scratch-offs. So Hope says she's also planning to talk to a few more customers so that she can give out more of the samples strategically. Keep going, keep going. Yeah, and leave little notes on your samples, share them, and ask for feedback. I love that you're reaching out and reconnecting and following up. So you're making your samples go a lot further than just, putting them out there in the wind. So great job, guys. I'm proud of you guys. Oh, okay. Milagro said that the President's Recognition Program celebration is going to be in Disney World, Florida. Disney World. So for those of us Mickey lovers, we'll earn a free trip to Florida and get to see Milagros. We'll all just take a trip to Milagros' house on the way to Disney World. All right, so let's get to our topic of discussion for tonight. Great job, everyone. Thank you guys so much for sharing your wins. And look at that. Look how many things we are celebrating. Look at all the things we were able to pull out. I want to see a list like that every week. I want to know, what you guys are celebrating. I want to celebrate with you. I mean, look at this. This doesn't come from, nothing happening. That is great stuff that you guys are doing. And I'm really proud and excited to hear about all the things that you're doing. And I love that you guys share on here because when you do share, it encourages other people. So, keep going with what you're doing. And let's get some more wins on there. Okay, guys? So today I wanted to discuss with you challenges. Milagro said group barbecue. Somebody screenshot that right now and save it so that when we do show up at her house and I'm ready to put Chucky on the grill, then, we can remember. Oh, my wins for the week? My wins for the week were that I was able to just work my business despite the madness that was happening. Do I always skip over my wins for the week? I feel like I kind of talked about it. It was the madness over the weekend and, still being able to work my business and, achieving the Sparkle Like a Boss, both the Avon and the Beauty Boss necklaces. So those are my wins. It's not official yet, but I'm going to count it for this week. And you better bet that when it is official, I'm going to repeat it. But, all right. So challenges. So challenges are one of those things that, everybody's talking about them. But it's usually in a negative way. Nobody wants to deal with challenges. When you talk about challenges, people are automatically like on the defensive. But like I said, go Chucky. He looks delicious though. So with challenges, people get really defensive because usually challenges mean a setback. Maybe it means you're going to be spending extra money. Maybe it means lost time. It might mean, it's usually that you're put out in some way, shape, or form, monetarily, physically, emotionally, whatever. But I want to challenge you guys today to change your perception of challenges, because challenges are actually, and again, preaching to the crowd here, Melissa says challenge equals opportunity. Exactly. Challenges are actually, if you can shift your mindset, you can take challenges and realize that they're an opportunity for growth. They're an opportunity for you to become more. And we need to get out of that mindset where we look at challenges as something that's negative. Like I said, this weekend, I was frustrated, but I was able to do other things that I had been putting off, that I didn't have, that I kept telling myself I didn't have time for, and I started to see some really positive results from those things. Sometimes a challenge is just for you to put the brakes on, reevaluate, and rethink where you are to make a shift. So here are 3 things that I want you to think about when you're thinking about your challenges. So the first thing is, when there are 2 types of challenges. There are challenges that just kind of come upon you, like your car breaks down, or, you know, God forbid, you lose your job, or, you know, the unexpected. And then there are challenges that you use to challenge yourself, like these new incentives that Avon has. The thing with both of those challenges is that they can still both be looked upon positively. But I want to encourage you, the challenges that you can choose to take upon yourself, really make the effort to decide on what your challenges are going to be. Make the decision right here and right now to not look at things that are going to be tough for you and back away from them. Really approach your challenges boldly and with confidence, because those are going to be your opportunities for growth. So look your challenges in the eye and just be like, okay, I got you. What are we going to do about this? And come up with your alternative ideas. The challenges that you set for yourself are a really big opportunity for growth, because when you overcome a challenge that you set for yourself, you grow so much more. It's one thing to, you know, have something happen in your life and overcome it. Yes, you definitely grow. But when you say, okay, I'm going to challenge myself to run a little further, go a little faster, go a little further, talk to that person that I never spoke before. And when you say, okay, I acknowledge that I'm scared, I acknowledge that I'm nervous, I'm worried, I am, you know, uncomfortable with this, but I'm going to do it afraid. And you go out there and you do it. When you come back, you're like, okay, I did it. Now I could do that again because I did it before, you know? So I want to challenge you to take on new challenges. Don't shirk away from them. Don't run away from challenges. When things come up within your business, within your district, within your team, whether it's a incentive from Avon, whatever it is, take it upon yourself to say, okay, I'm going to go for this. I'm going to try to get that, and I'm going to do it. I'm going to earn that. I'm going to make that. I'm going to win that trip, whatever it is, prize, goal. I can tell you for myself, I was talking about it a little bit either last week or the week before. Avon had this incentive where, sorry guys, pop-ups on my phone. So when we had this first 30 recruits in 30 days challenge, I had never done that before, and I was terrified, and I didn't know how I was going to do it, but I wanted to do it, and I challenged myself to do it. So when I accomplished it, I was super surprised and super excited, because that had been the first time that I had done anything like that. And it put me on a new track in my life, because I looked at obstacles and I looked at Avon incentives differently. Prior to that, whenever Avon put out an incentive, I was like, nope, that's not me. My district manager would come and say, okay, you know, we have this new incentive. And I was the one in the back like, nope, not me. Not going to happen. I can't. I'm not a top seller. I'm not a top recruiter. Whatever that is, that's not for me. I was just going through my paperwork, and I found my old invoices, and they had how I was tracking for an incentive on the side, and I have notes on there that they're kind of negative notes. But I was just like, even then, looking at those incentives, I was like, that's not for you. Like, I wrote on top of it, because I was like, this isn't important. Like, ignore this. This is, like, I circled something else. Like, this is what's important. And I was just looking at it, and I was thinking to myself, wow, your mindset has really shifted over the last few years. And I realized that it was because I was starting to see results in what I was doing. But those things were coming from embracing the challenges. Not so much because I was like, yay, challenges, but because I was like, okay, I recognize it's a challenge. I see that it's an obstacle, but my goal is on the other side of that. I need to overcome this to get to that goal, and just accepting that. So again, I'm always encouraging you guys to set your goals, because those are the things that get you over those mountains. But determine your goal, look those challenges in the eye, embrace them, get over them, and keep moving. The second thing, we were kind of touching on this earlier. Jessica says, following up with her new potential partners. And Chris says, you never know until you try. Exactly. When you challenge yourself, and one of the things that I wanted to think about with our next step was how challenges equal growth. There's this quote that says, nothing that's just because someone, wait, no, I botch the quotes all the time, but it basically says that just because someone says it's impossible doesn't mean it's impossible. It just means it hasn't been done yet. So when you overcome challenges, even if it's impossible, and you get it done, and you become the first person to get it done, you've not only created growth for yourself, but for everyone who's watching now, because now this impossible thing has been done. So challenges equal growth. Challenges are an opportunity for you to learn, because when you go through the challenge and you're trying to figure out things, sometimes it requires a mindset shift. Sometimes it requires you to look at things differently and think about things differently. Usually it does, because that's a part of the growth process, doing something outside of your comfort zone. So when you do that, you are now prepared to face the next obstacle better, or you're now prepared to function at a different level in your life. So the analogy I wanted you to think about was this. Let's say your my picture looks different. Oh, so let's say, for example, you're a kid. I don't know. I don't have children, so bear with me. I guess kids start walking around 2, 3, maybe younger than that. But let's say a 2-year-old kid starts learning to walk, I should say. Decides that it's too hard. Just not going to do it like that. Walking then is not for me. Learns to speak, feed himself, grows up. Now it's first day of high school. Kid rolls up in a deluxe stroller, mommy and back pushing. What are you guys going to be thinking seeing this grown kid, maybe college even, grown man, coming at you in a stroller being pushed by his mama? You're going to think, okay, maybe this person has developmental issues, growth issues, a problem with, mental or physical health, something like that. So at first you empathize and say, you go up to the mom, what's happening? Is there anything I can help with? What's going on with your son? And the mom goes, oh, he just never got over that walking thing. He just, it just wasn't for him. He just didn't feel it was his thing. Now you're going to go from empathetic to, what? So you've pushed him around for his entire life? He's grown? He's 16 or 21 and he just doesn't feel like walking? What? It just doesn't fit in our minds, because for us, those signs of growth are those overcoming those challenges are signs of growth, signs of progress. Unless there's something like a mental or physical disability that's hindering him from doing that, you would think on his own he would just, learn to do it. And having not learned to do it, you're just like, what's up with that? What's up with this kid? What's wrong with him? Why would you, if everything else is right and everything else is in the right place, why not, right? So why is it that with us, we find it so easy to stay in our comfort zones? It's just like walking and talking. We've got to grow and, and move forward and move ahead. So when we step back and say, oh no, that's growth, that's a challenge, that's an obstacle, I don't want to do that. Why do we look at that the same way? Why don't we look at that the same way and say, wait, this is an opportunity for me to become something more, to become, closer to the end goal. For a child, they're on their path to becoming an adult who's functioning in society. Walking for a healthy child is one of those things that you just do. So for us, overcoming an obstacle is something that we should be doing too. We should be challenging ourselves and overcoming them to grow. And if we're shirking from the challenges and if we're pulling ourselves out of the running too soon, we're hindering our growth. we're sitting back in the stroller and letting our moms push us for way into our adulthood. And at first I was thinking about it, I was just thinking about it and laughing. And I was like, but you know what? There are people like that in life. Steve Harvey, I think he was talking to Oprah, but I've heard it from him and I've heard it from other people. He talks about the barrel in your life. You're going up a hill, you're pulling a barrel or a wagon or something, and there are people behind you. They're either in the wagon or they're outside the wagon. Some of them are outside pushing, moving rocks, helping you get that wagon up the hill, and some of them are just sitting there doing nothing. And we all have those people in our lives. Those are the people who are like, you know what, getting out of this wagon looks like a challenge. I'm not going to do that. Oh, moving those rocks looks like a challenge. I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to sit here where it's comfortable and nice, and I'm just going to let you pull me. We have people like that in our lives. By the way, we've got to get rid of them. But you don't want to be the person who's just sitting in someone else's wagon. And by overcoming your obstacles and growing as a person, you get out of the wagon and you help that person push. Or you get out of that wagon and get your own wagon to push and empower and help other people to jump in your wagon and move along with you. So now you're growing teams. So you all can overcome the obstacle and go up the hill. For many of us in Avon, we're leaders. We need to get out of our wagons. We need to get out of our comfort zone. We need to get out of our mother strollers and start walking and talking and doing the things that adults do, because we are leaders. We need to start acting as leaders. So a lot of times we're waiting for our district manager or upline to do something. And a lot of times I'm talking to representatives and they have a complaint about something that's not being done. And sometimes I'll say to them, well, why don't you do it? And the looks I get, like I just sprouted a separate head. But sometimes it's like, but really, why don't you do it? If you can organize an event, or if you can, talk to people in the neighborhood, then you'll be the organizer and that thing will come back to your neighborhood. Why don't you want to do it? Because it's hard? Now, I know schedules and life, there are things that don't allow you to do everything. It's impossible for you to do everything. And I'm not telling you you have to, and I'm not telling you that you should try and do everything at once. But I do want to encourage you to challenge yourself to do the things that are outside of your comfort zone. Let's say, yeah, Jessica says, always stay uncomfortable to grow. If you're uncomfortable, you're probably growing. It's probably a good thing, because being in that stroller doesn't fit right. You don't belong in there. So if you're sitting in there and you don't feel right, it's time for you to get up and get out and, put on your shoes and start walking. You're going to fall down plenty of times. You're going to fall, bump your head, scrape your knees. Children do that. So why, as adults, do we feel like minor setbacks and mishaps and failures are a bad thing? In the same way as we as children fall down and bump ourselves, it's the same thing in life as adults. We're going to have setbacks. We're going to fall down. But that's why it's important. And that's another thing that I love about Avon. We're a part of teams. So if I fall down, Lisa or Milagros or Carrie Dad are there to pick me up. And if Anitra falls down, me, Milagros, Carrie Dad, Lisa, Dorel are there to pick her up. We are a team. So we're there to help each other, just like your mom is there to help you up when you fall. So it's important to have a really strong support network. And if all your friends are not getting out of their stroller and not walking, there's a problem. Because when you fall down and bump your knee when you're trying to walk, none of them are going to be able to pick you up. So surround yourselves with people who are also challenging themselves and trying to do and be more. Otherwise, they're not going to be able to help you, and they're going to be laying back in their mother's stroller like, yeah, you keep doing that walking. I see you falling. You're never going to get anywhere. Keep trying that. Sooner or later, you're going to be running circles around them, and they're going to be wondering, what the heck? So, that's your challenges equaling growth. But your challenges also equal confidence. And for me, you guys know this is a part of my Avon story. But when you get out of your comfort zone and you overcome something and you become a little bit higher, further up, closer, further along, whatever it is, to your goal, you're now in a place where you weren't before. you can now do something that you couldn't do. It gives you that extra, you know, I did that. Okay, I'm ready for more. And when you're speaking, it helps you. So for us, this past Saturday, I did a training call with my team, and we were talking about prospecting. And the biggest fear is approaching people. What do I say? What do I do? How do I act? What do I give them? What's in the sample pack? There are all these questions that we always ask. And that's great because representatives like us have gone out and experienced it and made the sample packs and are testing what works and doesn't work, we're able to share that with you guys. So I'm not knocking the questions. What I'm saying is there are all these questions, and a lot of times I will say, make a script, pick something, whatever it is. It doesn't have to be perfect. Go out and try it. You'll test it out, fine tune it, tweak it, come back, go out, try it again. If after that first time you get that first no, and you come back in and say, okay, this prospecting thing, this talking to people is hard, I can't do it, I'm done. You're not going to progress to the level where you can successfully train and mentor other people. I challenge everyone on my team to go out and do prospecting events, whether it's for customers or building your team. Because what I found, as I shared with you guys many times, I was a shy person. I was terrified of talking to people. So I found little scripts. I think Milagros has some scripts. I think it's probably posted somewhere. Avon has really great scripts on youravon.com. You just need a short blurb of what to say. Nowadays, in the Getting Started workbook, even if you're a leader and you didn't get one of the new kits, you can find the template on youravon.com under the leadership tab. They give you like a 30-second commercial that you can, plug in your own experiences and make a little commercial out of. Practice saying that. The practice comes from you actually speaking to people. You'll read it over to yourself a couple of times. Maybe then do a couple of phone calls where you can read it as you're talking to a person. But eventually you've got to get to the point where you go and speak to a person. Now, even though I use the scripts, every time I say it, it's a little bit different. And as I've grown in my business, my scripts have changed. But the scripts are there so that you have something to say, so that you're focused less on the words and you can concentrate on actually just getting to do it. So as you go from just reading it in your head to reading it into a mirror to reading it to someone on the phone to saying it to someone face to face, you're building your confidence. So use the scripts when you're going out. Then, like when I got started, I'll tell you this random story. Let's see how much time we have. Okay, so when I first got started, my district manager at the time, I recently found him, wonderful guy. I was mad at him at the time, but he brought me out to an event. We went to the local supermarket to do a prospecting event. We put out the table and he gave me some things to say. We reviewed the prospecting and he stayed with me for a while. I practiced with him and then he stayed with me for a while so that I can watch him as he modeled it to other people. And then, if one person came up, he might say, okay, you go. And then I would test it out and say it. So I got a little comfortable saying it. Then he left. He said he's going to the bathroom. He'll be right back. And I was just like, I have to man the table by myself. Okay. Palms sweaty, heart racing, and I'm praying nobody comes up to the table. Someone does come up to the table. Another gentleman comes up, says, oh, what do you have here, Avon? So I did my spiel. I read my lines. He had questions. I was like, okay, well, what do I know? I could only know my experiences. So I answered. He had more questions and he seemed interested in the business. So I was excited. I was like, okay, he might be a recruit. I don't really know, what the real answers are, but I'm going to just explain as best as I can. It turned out that the man who came was a divisional. It was Walter. I believe he's in either Jersey or Pennsylvania right now, but it was Walter Bracero. He was, role playing with me. And at first, my district manager came back and he was like, oh, this is Walter Bracero. He's my boss, my divisional. And I was just like, first I was mad. I was like, okay. I was so nervous. You guys threw me under the bus and put me on the spot and made me so uncomfortable and scared. But then I was like, but you know what? I did it. And that was my first prospecting experience. I was like, okay, I know how to function on my own. I could do this by myself. So from then, anytime we went out on another event, I was more confident. So sometimes it's scary and it's hard to overcome, But just by doing it and getting out of the way, sometimes it's like, when you're learning to swim and a parent pushes you into the water. That situation was him just pushing me into the water and saying, swim. Sometimes you need someone in your life who does that, but just it's easier when you do it yourself, because when they throw you in, you're not prepared. But if you're like, okay, I'm gonna go and put one toe and kind of sink in and do a little some splashing and easing my way in, it's better. So that's why I was saying in the beginning, choose your own challenges. But having overcome that challenge, from there I went on and I kept practicing. I kept doing events with my managers, my district managers, and then eventually I graduated and I started doing events by myself. And then from there I graduated again and I started to do events with my team. And you know what they say, the best way to learn something is when you're teaching it. So learning to do it myself with someone else, there were gaps, all kinds of gaps. I didn't know a lot of different things. I didn't know technical terms, but I was there and I picked up what I could. And from conversation, I learned to overcome the objections. And, different people came up with ideas and I heard what other reps were saying and I practiced my spiel and I had my script that I kept using, that I kept tweaking. And then eventually I was able to do my script in Spanish because the ladies helped me and I was watching, other people. But it came from putting myself in that awkward situation where I had to face that challenge, be it just being out there with the help of a district manager, to how does it feel when I'm out here alone? Is this something I can do? Is this something that I can ask my team members to do? The answer was yes. So now I can. And then when I went out with my team, role modeling for them, because now it's different when someone's watching you and you're teaching them things that they can say, you're in a different place. You're the leader. So now there's no one to say, wait a minute, what was that thing? It's there. Because now all of a sudden that person is you. But that's how the growth forms. And lastly, that growth, like I just said with this example, you start off from being mentored to doing it alone to mentoring somewhere else. That's what keeps the cycle going. For me, one of the best things about challenges is that when you challenge yourself and grow, you put yourself in a position to empower someone else. Because you've gone through that and you've experienced it and you've overcome the objections, you could bring, always with my jewelry, you could bring someone else alongside you and say, don't be afraid. I've been there. I've been through this. I know when you first talk to your person and they say no, you're going to feel some kind of way, but don't brush it off. It's okay. You may never see that person again. Smile, say good afternoon. They might come back and, you share your experiences and you share what you've been through and you help that person. Eventually, one day, that person will be the person who's out there doing it by themselves. Then eventually they'll be the person who's out there with someone else. I'm thankful for many of my managers because they're coming alongside me, made me the person that I am now so that I can stand beside someone else. And that's the role you should be going on. Don't let it stop with you. Don't say, okay, yeah, I did it. I know how to do that. I'm done. Find someone else and teach them how to do that as well. Because that's real growth. It doesn't just end with you. It's like a seed. You go from seed to tree to making new seeds so that they can make trees. It's a never-ending cycle. So your challenges are not just an opportunity of growth for you, but an opportunity for growth for someone else. Yeah, I can recruit in Spanish. I can't do the appointment too well, but I can point them to where they need to go. So let's see. I see some comments coming in here. So let's see. Melissa says she did better on Monday with a team member than she does on her own. Okay, awesome. She said the weather was bad, so they walked around Walmart and got 15 names and numbers in 1 hour. Awesome. See, Melissa now is at the level where she's mentoring someone else. And it's funny. She said that she actually did better with having someone else. And I find that sometimes, even in myself too, if I'm alone, I might feel too timid. But when I'm with a team member, I'm like, okay, I need to do this properly because someone's watching and I don't want them to be discouraged. So you hide the fears and you overcome them. So awesome. Thank you for sharing that. Thank you, Melissa. And another thing I just want you to think about lastly is sometimes another way that challenges can be a positive is that sometimes a challenge can redirect your path in 2 ways. The first way is obviously if you have a linear path, like you're on your path to become the next platinum executive. The challenges of learning how to prospect and find new customers is one mountain along your path. Once you're over that mountain, you're never going to go back. You've learned it. You've mastered it. You're never going to go back to the time where you don't know how to speak to people. You don't know how to prospect, or you don't know how to recruit or whatever. You don't know how to share a brochure. Once you've overcome that, it's done. You've learned it. It's just like walking, again, unless there's some a serious physical injury or mental injury. Once you've learned to walk or ride a bike, you always know how to ride a bike. You can just get back on it. So there's that linear growth. Once you've overcome it, you're never going back. So your path will keep moving forward. So it's good to have challenges in that way, because they'll keep you moving forward. As long as you're going over those mountains. If you stop at that mountain, you're just going to become stagnant and stop. Another way challenges are good is they can redirect you. I've had times in my life where I thought I knew what I wanted to do, and I was set on it. I had my dates and my times, everything locked in, and I didn't accomplish it, or I didn't achieve it, or there was some setback. And again, I was frustrated and wondering, what's happening? This was my plan. Everything was laid out and everything was working. Why didn't this happen for me? And it just turned out that wasn't for me. Something better was laid out for me. There were bigger and better plans. The timing wasn't right, whatever it was. But if I had stopped at that moment and said, you know what, I'm done with everything, back to the stroller, I'm going to retire at 22. I don't want to do anything else again. I'm never going to put myself out there. I never want to, I don't want to be embarrassed. I don't want to have people looking at me, and I don't want to tell people that I failed at something. I'm done. I'm never going to challenge myself again. I would never have had success in other areas of my life. So sometimes there's an obstacle in your road. I mean, and I'm not talking small obstacle. I'm talking like major, you're not doing this. It's not for you. You're done. Sometimes there are those obstacles. You can, throw yourself on the ground and have a pity party, but, you're just not going any further. I mean, roadblock, end of the cliff, end of the mountain. If you go off, you're just going off the deep end, kind of, I don't know, obstacle. We'll call those cliffs. So you've got mountains and you've got cliffs. So if there's a cliff in your life where the road ends and you can't cross it, you have to find another road, right? You have to decide, am I going to go left or right? You can't go back. You can only move forward. But with that cliff ahead of you, you have to decide, am I going to go this way? Am I going to go that way? Those rerouting of your life makes big changes. For me, personally, it was a change that got me to go deeper into my Avon. It's actually happened twice in my life now. I wonder if somebody's trying to tell me something. But there were two opportunities in my life where I hit a cliff and I said, okay, what am I going to do now? Do I find a new job? Do I go into a different field? Or do I go deeper into my Avon business? And I ended up going deeper into my Avon business, and here I am. I could have been a legal secretary. I don't know, something different. But I made the decision to go this way, and where I am now is a result of having made that decision. So sometimes that challenge is just to reroute you or redirect you. And one last thing I want you to think about is I had two friends on morning of 9/11 when the towers fell. One of the friends left their house, got on the train, or got into the train station, realized they forgot something. I think it was their Metro card. Realized they forgot, went back home. Came in, went on the train, got to work late. Was very upset because now they're late for work. Got there just in time to see the towers hit. Went back right down in the train station and went home and was safe. I have another friend who works in a neighborhood, also running late that day. And they said, when I got out of that train station and I saw what happened, I thought about where I would have been had I been on time and, everything had worked out the way I had planned it to. And they also realized that there was a moment in their life, they're like, you know what? This cliff was for my benefit. So a lot of times those cliffs, sometimes it can be devastating when it's over and it's done and you can't go any further in something. But sometimes, again, see the positive and see the opportunity and the learning experience. Sometimes it's just something to reroute you to a place where you're safer or better off. So that's my talk on challenges. I kind of feel like I ended on a sad note. Well, both of the people survived and were safe and unharmed and uninjured, so I guess it is a positive note. But you know, I just want you guys to take those different things that I shared and really rethink how you see your challenges, because life is going to change. Things are going to be changing all the time and around you. But another quote that I just shared with my team, I'm going to post it on my page a little later when I get off the call. It was that success is fluid. It moves and ebbs and flows. And if you want to be stuck and stay in the same place and you want everything to stay and you're resistant to change, it's going to be hard for you to find success, because success ebbs and flows and moves. Think about all the people you know who are successful. They tried things, they failed, they caught titles of waves like the real estate market or the dot-com boom. They were in the right place at the right time and they rose and they were successful. And then the people who played it safe. So don't play it safe. Take your challenges, take them and ride them to success. So I hope you guys have learned something, found this encouraging, and that you guys will take some challenges. I'm looking forward to more of you taking the new Bahamas challenge, and I'm looking forward to some of you coming back next week with your tickets and seeing them on Facebook, and you know, just seeing how you're growing and celebrating. So thank you guys so much for joining the call. I really appreciate our weekly calls and seeing and hearing your success. And I'm looking forward to just hearing some more obstacles being overcome. Have a great evening, guys.